Hello students, in this video we are going to start with the topic dealing with URLs. URLs means full form of URL is Uniform Resource Locator. It's the location of a web page on a web browser. So to deal with URLs we require anchor tags. We have learned a little bit about anchor tag. Here we will learn in detail about the anchor tag. So URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. For example, when you go on a Google search engine, we have to give URL as www.google.com. So that is URL, which may represent an address of a document on web or internet. This represents an address of a document which is stored on internet or web, or it is simply a path to a document in your specific directory. In your specific directory, for example, in your hard disk, for example, you have stored a document in E drive. So, a path to a document. The World Wide Web uses uniform resource locators to specify the location of files on other servers. World Wide Web. The term World Wide Web means web is basically a system of internet servers. Okay, so these internet servers stores the web page which is available over the web or internet. So the Wide Web uses uniform resource locators to specify the location of files on other servers. A URL includes the type of resource being accessed. So URL has information about the type of resource which I am going to access. For example, FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Gopher is also a protocol, web protocol. So what URL consists of? The type of resource which is going to be accessed. What is protocol first? Protocol are set of rules. There are set of rules to be followed for accessing a document on internet or on web. So FTP is file transfer protocol is one set of rule. HTTP is one set of rule. So the URL includes the type of resource being accessed, the address of the server, where the server is located, and the location of the file. So the syntax of the URL is scheme, host, domain, port, path, file name. This is the syntax of the URL. So we will see what is scheme. The scheme identifies the protocol to be used to access the resource on the internet. The type of protocol which is used to access the resource on the internet, scheme specifies that. There are many protocols available over internet. Here I will show you. Can you see? File transfer protocol, HTTP, Hypertext transfer protocol, post office protocol, there network time protocol. There are various protocols available which are followed over the internet. So scheme specifies the type of protocol which we are going to use. Then we have host dot domain name. Now host name is divided into three types. Host name is divided into three types: domain name, top level domain name, and subdomain. Now, top level domain, for example, .com, .net, .org, .edu, .us. So, .com is for commercial, .org is for organization, .edu is for education. So, the host name is divided into three parts. First is top level domain, second is domain name. Google.com is top level domain, Google is the domain name. Okay, Facebook.com, Google.com, Amazon.com, Apple.com. Next is subdomain. Subdomain is www, blog, support, mail. So altogether it forms host name. So I hope you are clear with this. Scheme, host.domain, I hope you are clear with this. And then comes port. Port is a number which is given to a particular protocol. These port numbers are well known for HTTP, HTTPS. So sometimes these port numbers are omitted. A port number is the logical address of a particular application. For example, here can you see the port number for file transfer protocol is 2021. These are the well-known ports. For HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is 80. HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol with Secure Socket Layer, 443. So these port numbers are specific to a protocol. Then path, where the file is located. For example, on my hard disk, the file is located in E drive in a folder HTML. So that is the path, and then the file name, the specific file name which I am trying to access. For example, I am trying to access first.html. So that is the file name. So scheme, host domain, port, path, and file name. So I want to give you example of a path. For example, a request from a client. For example, I am trying to send a request from my web browser to a server on the internet. I request a file which will be served to me from the host HTTP server. In order to pass my request to the FTP process in the remote server, the transmission control protocol, there are various protocols which are followed over the internet. So TCP is amongst them. The TCP in my computer identifies the port number as 21 because for HTTP the well-known port is 21. Okay. So that is the port number. HTML provides you to jump from a link to any document. Yeah, if I want from a web page which I have created, from that web page, if I want to jump to the next document, some other document, that time we can create the link. The HTML provides you to jump from a link to any document, let it be any document, or even I can jump to any of the image or any of the web page by using the special tag called anchor tag. If you remember the 5 categories which we had done for the elements of body tag, the elements of body tag falls under 5 categories. One of the category was special elements. So anchor tag falls under special elements category. So syntax, as I had given you example of anchor tag in previous videos. This is not new for you. Anchor tag, href is the attribute of anchor tag, hypertext reference. Href, full form of href is hypertext reference, and the value of href is URL, uniform resource locator. And the text I will give in between the starting anchor tag and closing anchor tag. So the text will provide me link to another document or to another image or to another web page. Okay, so anchor is a piece of text or some other object like image, you can say, which marks the beginning or ending of the hyperlink. So this is the syntax of the anchor tag. Anchor tag href is equal to URL. URL is the value, the path of the document which I want to access. And the text within the starting anchor tag and the closing anchor tag. URL can be of two types. One is absolute path and second is relative path. An absolute or partial URL can specify the address of the reference document. So I want to tell you the difference between absolute path and relative path. Absolute path means complete path. What does this mean? Complete path. For example, this is a simple HTML document. Okay. Simple web page with image. Okay. If I want to, I'll just give you the introduction of img tag. Img tag is used to insert an image within the HTML document. Okay, to insert an image in an HTML document, I should use img tag. Img tag is an empty tag. Empty tag, I had told you what is empty tag, which doesn't have closing tag. So img doesn't have closing tag, it is empty tag. img has this img tag. img has attribute src, which is source, src. Here, the value of attribute src is the path of the image where the image is saved. And the attribute of the image is width, the width of the image, the height of the image. Okay, I will tell you about title later. First, we'll learn about img tag and the src attribute. So let me open this HTML document with web browser. Can you see? Simple web page with image, and this is the image which I wanted to display on my web page. So for this I have used img tag and the src attribute. But in src attribute, if you see, I have just given the name of the file. See, the file is stored over here. This is the file of the this is the JPG file. This is the image available, which is stored here. Okay. So what I have done is, and the name of the file is 7 Wonders, and the extension of the file, to see the extension of the file, I will right click on the image file, select the properties and just check. Type of file is .jpg and the name of the file is 7 Wonders. So what I have done is I have just given the name of the file and .jpg is the extension of the file. We have to specify the extension of the file. So This is the image which is displayed in my web page. Now what I will do is I will cut this image and save it in, for example, this link folder. That image file is not available here now. And if you'll see the HTML document, the value of source attribute is still the name of the file and the extension of the file. Now let me run this in web browser. Open with web browser. Why is it not displaying the image? What's the problem then? The problem is before the image file was in the same directory of the web page. So only the name and the extension of the file was sufficient for me to display the image in the web page. Now that image file is not available here. It is available in some other directory. In this case, it is in this folder. Or in some other cases, there are chances that the image file might be available in E drive and you might be on your web page might be on the desktop. So this was the example of relative path, partial URL you can say. Then what is absolute path? Now I'm not able to access this image because the image is no longer available in the same directory where the web page is. So what I will do, I'll go to the image file which is of course stored in some other directory. In this case it is in this folder. I will select the file, the image file. I will right click on that, select properties, and I will copy the location, the path of the file, complete path of the file. I will copy it. You Control C and I will paste it over here. Control V. Then backward slash. I will give backward slash purposely here. And again I will go to the properties. Properties window is already open. I'll copy the file name, Control C, and paste it over here. And also I will check the extension of the file. The extension of the file is .jpg and I will write .jpg. Also you can copy that also or you can write it .jpg. And now I will save it. Let me check. Is it working now? Let me check. Yeah, it is working. So this is known as absolute path, complete path. Now I hope I am clear that the difference between absolute or relative path. Okay. Likewise, we have done with image. The same goes with URL, absolute path and the relative path. Then first we will start with link to page on the World Wide Web. This example I have already given you in my previous video. Let's revise that. I will open this HTML document. HTML head, title. Okay, this is a normal HTML document which has paragraph linked to a page on the World Wide Web. To create a link in a web page, we should use anchor tag, and the attribute is href, and we will give either the absolute path or relative path. Here we will specify the URL of google.com because I am trying to access something on the World Wide Web. So if I want to access the google.com, how will I get the URL? www.google.com. I will copy the URL from here, Control C, and paste it here. Okay. This forward slash is not required. I will save it. Let's run it with a web browser. Open with Google Chrome. When I will click on Google, it will take me to this search engine. There is one more. This is some random web page, Java point. This forward slash is not needed. Here. Save it. I will open it with the web browser. Let me see what happens. It will take me to the particular website. So we have to copy the URL from here. Okay. So this was an example link to a page on the World Wide Web. Then second is link to an image by image as a link. So by now you know the img tag. It has attribute src. Okay, I will show you the example of link to an image by image as a link. So what we are doing is I want to use image as a link which will take me to some image. Okay, so this is the code. Image to image link. Here also I'll have to use anchor tag because I am trying to create a link which will have image, and image will act as a link to another image. Okay, so I will use anchor tag, and the href is equal to the URL. It can be absolute path or relative path. I have used relative path because this image file is in the same directory where this web page is saved. See, this is the HTML document. This is the HTML document and this is the image file. So to specify the relative path, I only require is the image of the image, the name of the image and the extension of the image. Again, by now you know how to come to know what's the extension of the file. Right click, go to the properties, and you will come to know the extension of the file. So I will specify the path of the image. Okay, and because I want image to act as a link, I will use img tag. img tag within the anchor tag. Okay. img tag src attribute source is equal to which image I want to act as a link. I want this image file as star.jpg to act as a link to an image constellations.jpg. This is what I want. So in img tag, within the img tag in src attribute, I will specify the image which I want to act as a link to another image file. In this case is constellations.jpg. Anchor tag closed. Okay, let's run this with web browser. Open with Google Chrome. This file is star.jpg, which will take me to constellations.jpg. I hope I'm clear. Got it? So this was an example of image link to an image by image as a link. For example, what I want is I want star.jpg width of the image I want, for example, as 20% and height is equal to, for example, 10%. I will save it. Let's see the output. This star.jpg will take me to the bigger version of star.jpg. So what's written here, the image1.gif is a hypertext link to a image file located in the same directory. This will allow you to use a small icon that links to the user to a larger version of the same image. So this was an example of this same thing. The icon of the image will act as a link to the bigger version of the same image. Okay. So this was an example of link to an image by image as a link. The third point is link to document located in different directory. After that, fourth point is link to the same page. Fifth is links between sections of different documents. And the sixth one is link to mail. So for today we will stop here, and in the next video we will start from third point, link to document located in the different directory. Thank you.